Good afternoon, Wednesday, August 3rd. Trade deadline day is behind us. This is the Bat X Release Show on covers with Derek Carty. I'm your co-host, Josh Ingalls. Great to see everybody here in the chat with us as always. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 11. Congrats to Reed Phillips on getting his kid her first library card. Nothing like listen to a little release show in the library. We respect your commitment to the grind, Reed. Good morning, Derek. Good afternoon. How are we doing today? Other than that, Tristan McKenzie breaking our heart. 27 pitches, 3 runs, first inning. I kind of gave up on it. I'm like, oh, that's going to be a layup. And then he goes 64 pitches over the next 5 innings.
It was crazy. We were such a heavy favorite after the first inning. He wound up giving up 5 runs and still went 6 innings. I looked over the last 3 years when a pitcher gives up 5 runs, 12% of the time he manages to get to 6 innings. Like it felt like such a bad beat, but it is what it is. I mean, we knew it was a coin flip going in. We played it because the odds were so good. And it didn't work out, but we got the Feltner one.
Plus 155. I'll take that plus 155 every day for how close that play was.
Yeah, definitely. So it is what it is. Those are the kind of plays they've gone our way a lot recently. So, just the way it worked out.
We'll go scratch 1-1 and then look to go into the black today. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe. It helps us out. If you like what we're doing, let us know. Click that button. So in saying that, we got 3 releases today, some afternoon action today. Busy little schedule today. So if you're new to the show, this is the release procedure. We're sitting here releasing plays so that we can all get the same number at the same price instead of just other people just telling you what to bet, and that number changes over time. So the release procedure is something we strictly follow. I'll tell you what book we have this at. Usually it's book specific, but hopefully we can give you a book that has multiple books are available. In saying that, today we kind of have a book specific one, but we'll talk our way out of that. We'll tell you the book, we'll tell you the game we're betting on, and then following that, we will tell you the player and the over-under bet, making sure to give everybody a little time in between plays to make sure they can get it correctly, and then we'll all get the same price, the same number, and watch that line move because Derek and his projection, the Bat and the Bat X, certainly have an influence over the market. And Derek, to clarify, the Bat pitchers, the Bat X hitters, correct?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. To simplify it. Sorry. All right. So in saying that, 3 releases. Are you ready, D?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. First game, we are going to Seattle at New York. We are at FanDuel. This is a book-specific one here. This is a bad line. So we are Mariners at Yankees. The prop market we're looking at is pitcher strikeouts. Travis Best made it. Thank you, Travis, for running up the stairs. And as we see, our number is still there. Seattle at New York. Pitcher strikeouts. For release number 1, we are going Seattle's Luis Castillo under 6.5 Ks minus 136. Castillo under 6.5 Ks minus 136. Now, FanDuel's the only one at 6.5. The projections are 5.5. So if you can get this at plus money at your book, this is also a play on our end. But this 6.5 is quite off from the rest of the market right now, and we'll expect that number to drop very shortly. Let us know if you have any questions about whether or not to pull the trigger on your book, if your book's not offering the 6.5. Here we got Luis Castillo making his first start for the Mariners, coming over from Cincy. Ballpark Pal, who I like for weather indicators, has home runs up 23% more so at Yankee Stadium. So not quite the pitcher's park here at Yankee Stadium. Temperatures in the mid-90s, humidity low. What does that do, Derek? High temperatures, low humidity.
It helps offense quite a bit. It helps home runs. It suppresses strikeouts. Just across the board, basically helps offense, hurts pitchers.
So I've heard humidity helps with rotation, increases rotation, which helps on obviously breaking pitches. As we see, boom, there we go. We've moved it 5.5 plus 122. So, like I said, your projection was 5.5.
Yep.
So anything at plus money is still plus EV in your book here.
Yeah, it's not like majorly plus EV, but plus 122. I think I saw plus 125 at another book. Anything around there is still probably okay. But the 6.5 number was really the one I wanted to hammer here because it's a full strikeout above where it's being projected. And it was just a bad number relative to the rest of the market. Some of the sharper books, I think I saw Pinnacle was 5.5 with negative odds, like negative 101 or negative 102 or something like that. So 6.5, negative 136 was a really good number here. The Yankees are not even a high strikeout offense. Like, I feel like earlier in the year, there were some times where they projected to be high strikeout, and that's just not the case anymore. Like, Joey Gallo's gone. They have Andrew Benintendi in the lineup. They're going to have, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and LeMahieu and Rizzo and like a lot of like low strikeout guys here. So this is, and again, that hitting weather. So this is a spot where I do like the under quite a bit for Castillo, especially at 6.5.
Okay, there's Travis Best saying MGM is 5.5 minus 110.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly where, if you were pricing it with your projection, that's where you would be. Yep. So everybody here in the chat, base your play off. That's probably where this should be. Basically, whatever the margin is at your book is where this price is. So jumping over from Luis Castillo, under 6.5 Ks. Release number 2. The boys are over at Caesars, and this is another angle that we've been monitoring that we don't really know why they're doing what they're doing, but we're going to try to take advantage of it because the numbers don't really add up. Release number 2, we are at Caesars, Oakland versus the Angels, the Athletics versus the Angels in the late one tonight. And then maybe after this release, I'll get your thoughts on Hosmer. Yeah, you were fired up. You were fired up about the Boris comment about analytics. That was funny yesterday.
Yeah, that was funny.
All right. Athletics, Angels. The prop market we're looking at is home runs. And this is a widely available play, but this is the best price on the board here. At Caesars, Athletics, Angels, home runs, release number 2. We're going Shohei Ohtani over 0.5 home runs at plus 440. Ohtani plus 440 to go yard. Let us know the price you got. Let us know if the price is moving. If you followed the show, we quite haven't figured out why the books are on his pitching days giving us a better, longer numbers in the market for basically all his offensive markets across the board. When you look at his numbers as a hitter, 17 for 66, batting .258 with a home run, 10 RBIs across 17 games he started. They're kind of on par with the games he doesn't start, and there's not a real difference. He's getting 4 at-bats every game. Like it's not like it was last year.
He's not getting pinch hit for on these days. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand why the numbers are so drastically different on daisy pitches. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something here where he's going to be a worse hitter on daisy pitches, but I can't think of anything that would make sense. He gets a little bit less BP early in the day. Like, is that really going to shift the odds, 100 points or 200 points? Like, it just, I don't get it. So, yeah, I'm happy to hammer these on days when they give it to us, especially a number like this. He's really good. He's Ohtani. He's really good. It's a pretty good matchup today. He's at home. He's in LA. He's against a pitcher who's not that great, has a home run issue. Yeah, I'll take this.
His numbers are down, but I'm sure projections show that he's still the same hitter he was last year.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if their sample size they're taking when they're doing these markets, the sample size does come back from last season, which would probably put his plate appearances down.
That's the only thing I can think of, because last year he was getting pinch hit for on days he pitched like 60% of the time, which if that's the case, like, I want nothing to do with this. But this year it's been less than 5% that he's gotten pinch hit for. So that's the only thing I can think of where these lines are coming from. I would think by now they'd have adjusted them, but I guess they really haven't been like losing on them that much, especially the home run ones. So I don't know, but I'm going to take it.
Yeah, he's got 5 games with 5 plate appearances in games he's pitched in 17 starts. So I mean, we don't see it. So that's it. So Ohtani over 0.5 home runs plus 440. These numbers usually drop to about plus 330. That we'll see it probably about plus 330 tomorrow.
Yeah. And we have noticed too, a lot of times, even on days like this, they wind up closing quite a bit like below where we're getting them at anyway. So it's a weird dynamic that's going on.
I think we got it at plus 750 in his last, right?
And his
so
last one was
kind of
plus 750, and I think it closed plus 375. Like,
so they are adjusting it. So this might be one of the final days that we do see some plus EV on that play. So Ohtani, Caesars plus 440, jumping over to release 3. Milo says he hit the total bases. I think offensively, I think Ohtani projects pretty well across most of his markets.
Yeah.
Release 3, we're at 365. The game in question, going to the late game again, Oakland versus Los Angeles, Athletics versus the Angels. The prop market we're going down to is RBIs. Player RBIs, Athletics at the Angels, RBIs. Release number 3, we're double dipping Ohtani over 0.5 RBIs plus 225. Numbers still there at 365. Ohtani over 0.5 RBIs plus 225. Now, in saying that, we're not the way we've been recording our record here at the Bad X Release Show with Derek. We've been to win a unit. So we're not suggesting drop full units on these big plus money plays. So if you look at our record shows that we're here to win a unit on these plays. But in saying that, DK Malinsky says DK plus 200. Where's your projection have Ohtani in the order today? Do they have him at 1? Usually
I have him at 2 today. I mean,
at 2. Okay.
That can always change a little bit, but yeah. This is kind of just, I mean, the home runs are always going to be, a long shot. Even today with the great odds, the bat season hitting it, a quarter of the time.
17? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but the RBI, it says, comes through about 41%. So especially at this number, it's good. And so a little more likely to actually hit on an Ohtani prop and make good on kind of these bad numbers by doing RBIs also.
Yeah, 41% projected, plus 225. Big difference there between implied versus projected. Do you have the percentage there?
Yeah, the projection's 0.75. The implied is like in the mid to high 4s, like 0.46, 0.47, something like that.
What's the Bad X projection for Tommy Henry? Not showing up on the page. Tommy Henry.
Projection for what category? Are we talking strikeouts or?
What do you need, Dane?
Yeah, it looks like 3.17 strikeouts for Henry today is the projection.
Fantastic. So recap here for the day. Luis Castillo under 6.5 Ks. We moved that number to 5.5, but we said about plus 115, plus 120 still a play on the plus side. Then we went Ohtani at Caesars to go long at plus 440. He's starting pitching today. We're taking advantage of the odds that haven't quite correlated to days he pitches and days he doesn't. And then for a third hit, double dipping on Shohei to knock one in at plus 225. So maybe both of those plays come in with one swing of the bat versus some easy pitching in Oakland. And they've, I don't know, trade deadline day after a team who just kind of unloaded too. I'm sure it's a deflated team. We could see Ohtani be right into one today too. So as a guy holding on to his Cy Young ticket at 12-1, I would love to see Ohtani be in the game today, which could mean big bats too. So that's it for us today on Wednesday. We'll see you back here Friday at 11 a.m.